think the main field is going.
Well, this is going to be a dangerous move.
And he's got this, the best win of his career.
「自転車ロードレースシーズンの幕開けを告げるツアーダウンアンダーがいよいよ始まる。オーストラリア・アデレードの地で2011年真夏の激闘はどんなドラマを見せてくれるのか。レーススケジュールは全6ステージ。終盤の熾烈なスプリント合戦は見逃せない。もちろん有名選手も多数参戦。ここアデレードが出身のスチュワート・オグレディ、土壇場でのレディオシャック移籍で出場権を得たロビー・マキュアン、現役最強として君臨するマーク・カベンディッシュなど俊足スプリンターが勢ぞろい。今回この番組では注目選手たちを徹底インタビュー。ダウンアンダーにかける熱き思いをこの4人が語る。まずは今大会が国際レース最後の舞台となるランス・アームストロング。ツール・ド・フランス7連覇、奇跡の復活劇と数々の伝説を生み出してきた彼はどんなレースを見せてくれるのか。
Lance, South Australia is where the comeback all started. This is where you're going to say farewell to international racing. Why South Australia?
A bunch of reasons. You know, we've had great experiences here. I never knew what to expect when we came 2 years ago. The reception from the people, the way that this race is run and organized, a real testament, I think, to Mike Turter and the support of Mike Grant has been pretty surprising to me. I mean, you always hear about races, and it's a great race, somebody will say, but then when you get there and you realize they weren't bluffing you, I mean, it truly was a great experience. Sister city in Adelaide to Austin, Texas, sister state to Texas and South Australia. A lot of good reasons.
You actually seem to enjoy coming to the race. I know you've been to the Barossa Valley, you've been and checked out the wines, and it's...
I looked at it, I didn't drink any of it. Okay, maybe a little bit.
It's coming to the end of the comeback. What do you, I mean, a brilliant comeback. You came back. I've never really believed in comebacks, but what you did at the Tour de France, finishing 3rd overall when you came back, that's a great success. What do you take away from your comeback? What do you think about when you look back on this?
Well, it's when you get 3rd, you think, I was actually a little disappointed in that because I won 7 in a row. I came back, I thought I'd win another one. I thought I'd get an 8th one. So I was slightly, to be honest, slightly disappointed with that. Although 3rd is better than 4th. It's nice to have a step on the podium. But then you come back the next year and you have a bunch of bad luck and you get 23rd. And you look back at 3rd and you go, God, I wish I could have got 3rd again.
One thing you talked to me about when you first made the comeback was you wanted to get the message out there again for the Livestrong, the Lance Armstrong Foundation. Has that been a success?
Yeah, no doubt that's been a success. That's the thing that makes up for getting 3rd or getting 23rd or not having won a big race. And people look at that from a sporting perspective and say, just what you said a second ago. I said, comebacks are virtually impossible, and ultimately people aren't really a fan of comebacks. But in fair play, I mean, I respect that. But the effect on the foundation, our ability to take our message around the world and have people pay attention and listen to it has been far better than we ever imagined. And it's made getting 3rd and 23rd and these other sporting aspects, it's made it worthwhile. That's why I say no regrets, because it simply outweighed the disappointment that you maybe had as an athlete. We have, if you look at our team here, we have 3 sprinters, 3 guys that can win races, or win races here, which is pretty exciting. Different for us, I mean, for us to sit down and try and manage that or build tactics around that. That's a new experience for us. But the good thing about those 2 Robbies is that they wake up every day and they say, I want to win today. You don't have to go into their room or tell them in the team meeting, hey, we need you to win today. Those guys wake up saying, I need to win today. They want that. So they're self-motivating, and it takes a lot of the pressure off Johan or myself.
It's good for a team to have that kind of winning mentality.
No doubt, especially early in the season. I mean, if you can, I mean, you look back to last year. Sky came into the sport, all this hype and all this hysteria and all the money that went behind the team, and they won the first criterium here, the Cancer Council Classic. It was as if, I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was as if they won the Tour de France on the first day. What a relief for them it would have been. We'd love to have a situation like that. But we'll see. Robbie says he feels good.
This is going to be the last international bike. What, do you want to go and do an Ironman? Do you want to do triathlon? Your first passion, your first love, your first sport?
Maybe. Let me think about that. I don't know yet. No, I don't know. I've been training. I've been dabbling back in the pool. I don't think that's any secret. I'm trying to run. My knee's giving me some problems. I've got to, and obviously, if you want to do an Ironman, that means you've got to run a marathon. After all of that, that requires a ton of training. My body's got to hold up to that. I was worried about the swim. I was worried about getting back into the pool and making sure I didn't want to get out of the water behind. So I'm having to play catch up on the bike. You're using too much effort, and then you get to the run and you're wasted. I don't want that. So the good news is I think I got on top of the swim quicker than I thought I would. And then, just got to rely on my experience on the bike. And I think that, although it seems like a fairly straightforward bike ride or bike race, it's not. I mean, I think there are places where you can really use the experience that I have as 20 years as a professional cyclist to my benefit. And then you put those two things together and try to run between 250 and 255. It could be close.
You're going to enjoy this final week of the Santos Tour.
I am. I'm not going to let it be any other way. I don't care what listen. I know that no matter how much I want to enjoy it and I want to hang around with the guys and have a good time, I know that there are people that don't want that. I know they're gonna try to do things. They're gonna try to write stories. They're gonna try. There's no secret that they coincide their opportunity with my opportunity. That's the way that these things work now. But look I've got my kids here, I've got my friends here, I got Johan here, I got all my buddies from Austin here. I don't care what anybody says or does, I'm having a hell of a good time going out. I'm hoping, personally, that a lot of guys have been snowed in Europe and not been riding their bikes very much, but something tells me they've been sneaking away to Spain or the Canary Islands and doing a heck of a lot of training, and which can only mean one thing, and that means that I suffer.
This is going to be your last international race. What do you want to take away from it? You want to win a stage? You want to see Robbie McEwen win a stage?
Well, I think I'd love to have a great performance from the team. I mean, at least win a stage, I would think, with the talent and the type of riders we have here. I don't think any of these stages are suited to an all-around rider. I mean, I think this is still a sprinter's race. I think more so now than ever before. You got a lot more sprinters here this year. You have Greipel on a different team than Cavendish. Cavendish is here, so you have that head-to-head battle. People are going to be waiting for that. You throw Ferrara into the mix, you throw Henderson into the mix, you throw Robbie into the mix. Then you go back to HTC and you see Goss is flying. I mean, the lead-outs here, I say it all the time. I mean, you will not see sprinting like this until July. So take a good look at it, because it's going to be 6 months until you see it again.
続いてはランス率いるレディオシャックに電撃移籍を果たしたロビー・マキュアン。彼の加入によりチームはどう変革していくのか。
Funny how the world of cycling throws up strange things. A few years ago you had a bit of a run-in with Lance Armstrong in the Tour de France, and now you're on the same team together.
Yeah, that's how things go in cycling and in life, I guess. But talking that little run-in, I mean, water under the bridge, a minor exchange of words of about 8 years ago. So no, really nothing to make a fuss about.
It's quite strange because, when you look at Radio Shack, or whether it was Discovery or whether it was US Postal Service, it was always a team that was based on one man and the overall standings. Now, this year, for you, Robbie Hunter, Cardoso, it's a team with a lot of sprinters. It's going to be very strange.
Yeah, well, I think now Radio Shack is starting to look a little bit outside their traditional borders, if you like. It's always has been a team of general classification riders, and they've still got some fantastic ones. Like Lance is due to stop racing, but they still have guys like Leipheimer, Klude and Brekovic, so some very, very good GC riders. But they're starting to look sort of further afield and wanting to get results in a lot of different races, and having a few good sprinters on the team will go a long way to putting us up in the results on the flatter stages and the flatter races.
That's a good thing for a team, isn't it, to have sprinters to get victories early on, and I think you and Robbie Hunter, you're going to work extremely well together in this race.
I think so too. I mean, both of us have come out of a turbulent last couple of months with the demise of the Pegasus project and a lot of uncertainty, and we came onto the team the very last minute, and I think both of us would readily admit that it does affect your preparation coming into the season. Not only that, but Robbie Hunter broke his ankle back in November. But I think we can make a pretty potent combination, and even though maybe the teams of HTC, Garmin-Cervelo, Sky have a sort of probably on paper a stronger sprint train set up, I think we can put ourselves in amongst there and cause a bit of havoc anyway.
It's not ideal preparation. I mean, you were very keen to move across to Pegasus. Everything fell by the wayside. How relieved are you to slip into this Radio Shack team?
Yeah, it's a big relief. It's also a big honour to ride in the Radio Shack team. Everyone's sort of been kept up to date with what happened with Pegasus and how it went under and left a lot of riders and staff alike stranded. And I guess I'm one of the fortunate ones to be able to fall back on reputation, results, and interest of a team to want to have me as a part of their program. And things came together really, really quickly with Radio Shack, and I'm thankful for that. And I contacted Lance at that time when it was all happening, and within 15 minutes I had a team. It's also been a dream of mine to ride in an English-speaking team once in my career, and now going to my 16th season, it looks like here I am.
I think it is. It's a great honour, and it's a great way and fitting end to your career. Maybe with the way you ride this year, you might even get a second crack and might continue racing for another season.
I don't know about that one, but I really want to not go through the season thinking this is my last season, bit of a farewell or whatever. I want to go into every race with a plan, motivated, try to win. I mean, I want to go out with a bang and perform at a high level.
You've been you've been the most successful Australian sprinter over the last 20 years. This has got to be one of the best fields of sprinters that I've seen assembled anywhere in recent years.
To have a field of sprinters like this one assembled at any race, I think an organiser will be happy. This is a field of sprinters that I think any Grand Tour organiser would love to have. There's maybe only one or two missing out of the whole lot who can ride a bike fast at the finish. And you've got the likes of Cavendish, Greipel, Farah, myself, Schiolek. I'm missing a couple. I know there's about 13, 14 sprinters here at this race. It's going to make it really, really tough. But I think for the spectators and for the television audience, it's going to make it super exciting because you've got all those guys. But nowadays, there's a lot of teams that are really well organised too. And you'll see the trains really duelling to take control of the race at the front in the last couple of kilometres. You have Garmin-Cervelo against HTC, against Sky, and I'm sure you'll see a couple of Radio Shack guys buzzing around there too.
You sounded pretty excited already. What about, everyone's talking about two guys who were on the same team last year, Andre Greipel and Mark Cavendish. Do you think there's going to be a big face-off between those guys? I don't think there's too much love lost between them.
There's not too much love lost between Cav and Greipel, but I don't think there'll be a major face-off in the race itself. I mean, racing is racing. There may be words before, there may be words after, I think they're both trying to play it down a little bit, and I think the press is trying to play it up a lot. But certainly it'll be a sort of battle of prestige, because there have been words and things said about each other, and all that matters really is who crosses the line first in the race and give them bragging rights.
Well, you'll be right in there watching it from the back and hoping that they make a few mistakes on the running towards the finish. And have you got the legs to stamp your authority on the sprints in this race?
Well, the place I'd like to be watching that duel from is over my shoulder, just like that. I mean, that's the aim when you come into a race like this. You want to win, and no matter how you think the others are going, or if there's a big rivalry between those two, you concentrate on your own race, and the aim is to win a stage, and that's what I want to do.
スプリンターの中でもひときわ輝きを放つこの男、マーク・カベンディッシュはこの大会をどう捉えているのか。
Mark, last year was a tough start for the season for you. You really had a lot of problems with medical teeth, and it took you a while to get the season going. This year you've decided to start very early. Why?
Just really, I never really had a choice before now, I think obviously I was sharing the team with Andre Greipel, and I believe in the traditions and that of cycling. If you have the number one on your back, you start a race, it's quite an honour to be able to do that, and so Andre's race, he's always done well here, and he was proven to do well here, So if you're proven to do well, you go there. So I never need to go to Australia, and
What have you heard about this race, the Tour Down Under?
Everyone used to say how relaxed it was, but apparently the last few years it's just got more and more and more, important. It's got harder, it's got faster, but everyone still says it's a great race, everyone likes to come here. You can see by the quality of the riders that come here that they like to come here, and from what I've seen, it's great organisation so far, and hopefully that continue into the racing, and I'm excited to get started.
Your team's changed a little bit. Lost a number of riders through the winter. Mick Rogers, one of the big lead-out train, he's gone. Is it going to be difficult for HTC to get back to that big lead-out train that we saw over the last couple of years?
We don't have the big, strong guys that we did have, but we have got guys that can replace them. I think the likes of George Incapi, Michael Rogers can't really replace them. They're incredible bike riders. You can say they were wasted in the job as a lead-out, but as a team we won. That's our job as professional cyclists, to go and win. But I think we've got a diverse range of sprinters now. We've got a diverse range of guys, we can win at every aspect we go to. And the thing that we have as a team is that we do just want to win as a team. We just want to go out as a group of friends and just win.
One guy I've always thought is extremely important to you is Bernie Eisel. When he raced for the Française des Jeux, he was a pretty good sprinter in his own right, but he seems to, you talk about this friendship in the team, he seems to really enjoy sacrificing himself for a guy like you.
Bernie, we're like husband and wife, really, really, you see it. My girlfriend says it. She's like, you're just like husband and wife. It's I think I'm a big believer in your morale and things affect your performance on the bike, and we are big friends. It's like going on camp every week, and his guys are big personalities that are important, and collectively we all grow and we all enjoy it. We all enjoy what we do, and that's why it takes, Bernie Eisel was hired for T-Mobile in 2007 as a sprinter, and I came in 2007 as some young punk, and straight away I was winning, and Bernie adapted to helping me straight away.
You're starting the year here of the Santos Tour Down Under, but does your season really revolve around the Tour de France? That's the pinnacle. That's the biggest showcase of the sport.
Absolutely. I've got a lot to back up there. I've won 15 stages in 3 years. I can't just go and mince around. Obviously you got to be grateful with just one stage in the Tour de France every year. It's the biggest bike race on the planet. But I want to win a stage. I want to win more, and that's why I want to be in my best condition at the Tour de France. So it means I don't come into the Tour Down Under in my best condition I could be in. There's guys here and there's rivals of mine that I've seen that are really skinny, really in good shape, and that might play in their favour here, but for sure it'll play in my favour at the Tour de France, and that's where I've got to make my mark.
Some people talk about records, and you're already the record holder for stage victories for Great Britain. But some people believe that you might even be able to take over the mantle of stage victories of Eddie Merckx. Do you think about things like that, or is it just...
No, absolutely not. I think for me, even put myself in the same sentence as Eddie Merckx is disrespectful. The man's the biggest legend that lived in cycling, and for sure nobody wants, if there's something, you'd like to beat someone, but it's not something you think about, I'd like to win Golden Boot in a World Cup football. It's not going to happen, and well, it might happen, you don't know, but you know what I mean? It's like, I really don't think about it. I've got a job to do, which is to go and win. And I want to just win. I want to win with my friends, with my teammates, and I just keep doing that as long as I can. If that comes to that, it comes to that. But
people talk about sprinters, different kind of sprinters. Many people would say that you're the fastest man in the world, and we've seen some incredible sprints over the last couple of seasons. Other people will say that Andre Greipel is the strongest sprinter in the world. You two you've actually been kept apart for these last couple of seasons. What's it going to be like now going head to head with a guy who was wearing the same coloured jersey as you last year?
it's irrelevant to me. I have to win bike races. Whether that means I'm the fastest or the strongest or the fattest or the thinnest or the oldest or the youngest. I have to win bike races, as simple as that. Whatever bike rider I'm racing against, I have to beat them.
Will he not have an advantage, more of an advantage than some of the other sprinters coming up against you, because he knows HTC, he knows the team tactic, he knows what your menu for success is? Will he be able to mess that up?
I think our menu success is that we do everything perfect every time. It's not hard to. Our menu success is that we can adapt to people trying to do that. So, you know, I'm confident in my guys. I'm confident in myself if the guys put me there. And if we're thinking about other people, then we're not focusing on our job, which is crossing the line first.
前年度の覇者アンドレ・グライペルはライバルたちとの高速スプリントを制することができるのか。
Andre, a big change for you this year, because for the last couple of seasons you've been with HTC Columbia. Why the change to Lotto?
I'm not getting any younger anymore, and yeah, I want to. Oh, I have a dream, and this is the Tour de France, and I want to take part in this race. And with HTC Columbia, this would never happen, I think.
You think that was because maybe because of the fact that they invested too much into Mark Cavendish and they didn't think about you as being the team sprinter?
I mean, I won 21 races last season, so in every other team I would take part in the Tour de France, and this is the biggest race, and yeah, I'm not getting younger, so once I have to do it.
Do you think that Team Lotto has got the backup to support you in the lead-outs? Because HTC Columbia had a really good lead-out train. Robbie McEwen, when he used to ride for Lotto, he had to ride the sprints on his own. But have you brought guys to the team who you think can help put you into the right place to keep winning?
Yeah, I mean, I have Marcel Siebeck, Adam Hansen, Vincente Reines, and yeah, with Jürgen Rolands. He's also a really fast sprinter. He was, yeah, or he can be one of the best classic riders. So if they wouldn't have the backup for a lead-out sprint, for a lead-out train, then I wouldn't change the team. So I'm happy to found a team like Lotto is now.
It's going to be, this is almost going to be Tour de France type sprinting. Do you feel that you can be as dominant as you were last year?
I think when I see the paper, it's like for sure 10 sprinters are here which can win races. And yeah, I mean, I think just Petaki is missing, so normally this is a lineup for the Tour de France. And hopefully the sprints are going all fair, and yeah, maybe we see some drag races with the lead-out trains.
A lot of people have talked about Cavendish and how fast he is and how good you are, because the last 2 years you won 20 races the last 2 seasons. For you, is it a challenge to go against Cavendish, or do you ride your sprint on your own?
I always say even to my teammates now with Lotto, we have to be focused on our own things. If we look on other teams, then we cannot be focused on our lead-out train, and that's the main point. I mean, I came to Lotto to win races like I did the last seasons, and yeah, would be nice to start the same here in Tour Down Under 2011. Is
it going to be an advantage for you, because you were with HTC, You know the guys, you know the lead out. Isn't it an advantage for you to know how they worked so that you can beat them?
I mean, of course, they have a really good lead-out train here, and yeah. But I think we don't need to hide, and we can be competitive. That's for sure.
They've lost some guys. I mean, Mick Rogers is no longer there. They might not have the big power that they had before. How do you beat the lead-out train? What's the tactic? Because if you let them take Mark Cavendish to 200 meters to go, it's difficult to beat him. What do you think that Team Lotto will do?
Just being faster. That's it.
A final question. People talk in the press about the clash between Cavendish and Greipel. What's your feeling and what's your relationship with Mark Cavendish?
I was always loyal to him, and that's all I can say.
ランスの活躍、スプリンター勢の死闘など、ツアーダウンアンダーは見どころ満載。新たな伝説はこのレースから始まる。明日からの放送をお見逃しなく。